Hey up! Right, over the last 7 years I think it is now, I've been showing you various methods of cleaning your motorcycle. Now I always use my car for these tests because my bikes are ensconced inside my garage, protected from the elements, whereas the car is outdoors all the time, so it gets the worst of the weather, the worst of the road traffic film. So it's the best test subject really for various different chemicals and protective products. And at the end of the day, these products are designed for cars and motorcycles, so it makes no difference. Now, at the beginning of sort of starting this channel up, I was a traditionalist. I used products that I'd used for years, or I did occasionally sort of replace them with things that I thought were better. I preferred a proper wax coating on my vehicles, and I was quite happy in my little world. Until you lot started suggesting other methods, other chemicals, other products. And people like Auto Bright Direct started getting in touch, offering various products for me to try out. Which has muddied the waters for me a bit, because I have to admit some of these up-to-date synthetic chemicals, especially ceramics, are far better than they used to be. And if I'm honest, they are in some cases a bit better and easier to apply than a traditional wax. And you lot are a lazy bunch of twat knackers, so these chemicals and products are ideal for you. And then the other problem is, as soon as I show you these products, you all go out and buy them. And within a few hours, the supplier's out of stock, and then you all start complaining at me about that. So just stop it. From now on, I forbid you from buying any product that I show you in any of my videos. I mean it. I've checked with both companies whose products I'm going to show you today. They've got good stock levels, and it better stay that way. Now, there are two ceramic coatings that I've shown you in the last year from Auto Bright Direct. One is ceramic MJJC, which they say lasts up to 3 months. It's applied with a snow foaming lance, although I believe you can put it on with a spray bottle as well. My personal experience is that it lasts a lot longer than 3 months. That's not to say that it will for everybody, but it was December last year before I was confident it had all gone. And I've just checked the dates on my filming files, and I actually applied it on the 18th of May last year. And my personal opinion of it was that it was useful for up to 4 months. So what I'm going to do in this video is combine it with another product that Auto Bright Direct makes, which again I've already shown you in December last year, and that's their ceramic infused auto body shampoo. They said that it would last for 2 to 4 weeks. I got almost 8 weeks out of it, so again it far exceeded my expectations. The plan in this video is to combine the two to sort of double up the protection and see how long it lasts. And then a few weeks ago, whilst I was filming this video that you're watching now, one of their hard coat products, which I'm not going to show you today because you all bought it and Auto Bright Direct can't keep it on the shelves, I was using my snow foaming lance with Auto Bright Direct snow foam to clean and treat the mule. And a company called MJJC watched that video, and they got in touch with me and said that they had a far better snow foaming lance than the one I was using. Would I like to try it out? Now, I actually only started using snow foam about 4 years ago, again because you lot were sort of mithering me about trying it out, and I got hold of a muck-off pressure washer system, which I think the retail now at about £120, £130, something like that. And it's a complete system. It's a pressure washer, various lances, the trigger, and it comes with a snow foamer. It's the only one I've ever used. I've got nothing to judge it by. You know, I thought it was okay. Again, quite happy in my world and with everything that I'm using, and everybody just keeps spoiling it. Now, I just want to make it clear, I'm not disrespecting this muck-off system. It's a cheap and cheerful system for cyclists and motorcyclists to keep the bikes clean on a budget. It's cleaned both the household cars on a regular basis, all my bikes, it's been used for cleaning patios, paths, and it's been trouble-free. Apart from periodically having to replace O-rings, which is par for the course. Now, the whole point of snow foam is that it's a pre-wash chemical. It's designed to cling onto the paintwork for as long as possible to give it maximum contact time, to loosen up grit and stubborn dirt so that when you rinse it off, most of the dirt has gone from the vehicle before you actually start washing it. That way, especially in the case of cars, when you actually start the shampooing phase, which is a contact method, you're not rubbing grit and dirt into your paintwork and scratching it. Now, over the years I've used several different snow foams from different very reputable manufacturers, including Autobrite Direct, and it does tend to slide off the vehicle quite quickly. But as I've said, I had nothing to judge it by, so I assume that was just how it works. You're supposed to leave it sort of clinging to the paintwork for between 5 and 8 minutes before rinsing it off, and then you can get on with washing it. And the idea is that brings a lot of the dirt off with it. All the time that it's in contact with your paintwork, it's dissolving the grime and loosening the grit off, so that it's just washed away when you rinse the vehicle over. Now, this MJJC foam cannon is on another level to the plastic snow foamer that I've been using for the last 4 years. The bulk of this cannon is made up from a high-grade turned brass. Now, your spigot that actually fits onto your trigger unit for your pressure washer is specific to the make or manufacture of pressure washer that you're using. I know you're not going to buy one because I've told you not to, but for those who do buy them, make sure that you get one which is specifically designed to fit the pressure washer that you have. All the plastics that are on this foam cannon appear to be of very high quality, and looking at it in general, I would say this is probably aimed at the professional market, or for your serious enthusiast that just wants the best equipment he or she can afford for cleaning the vehicles. The whole product is designed using sort of screw fittings and O-rings, so there's no need to be using PTFE, that plastic tape for engineers to seal anything up. It's all self-sealing. And I should note that it comes with 1 or 2 spare O-rings and a spare nozzle thing. I'm not quite sure where that goes. It also comes, of course, with a large clear plastic receptacle for putting your snow foam mix into. Assembly is really easy and straightforward, really. It takes seconds. Now, I always like to use a little bit of silicone lubricant on any O-ring fittings whenever I'm assembling anything. It just helps seal better, and it also preserves the O-rings and stops them from sort of degrading prematurely. It's up to you what you do. The only assembly that's required really is attaching the spigot that's specific to the machine that you're using onto the main body of the actual snow foam cannon itself. You can then present the assembly to the family cats to make sure that you've done it all properly and that it passes their inspection. Then all you need to do is fit the actual suction tube that takes the product out of the receptacle and feeds it into the cannon for use or during operation. Don't use any silicone lubricant on this. It is quite hard to push on, but if you use a silicone lube, it'll also come off easily and you'll be forever putting it back on. This is quite a soft, flexible tube, which I do like, and it's also weighted on the bottom with a brass fitting, which ensures whichever angle you happen to have it at, it ensures that it's always in the liquid as long as you've got liquid in the actual bottle itself. and it should then be ready for use. It's important to note that the actual container itself is quite a wide mouth container, which is useful, and it's not a screw fitting, it's a sort of a bayonet fitting, which allows quick and easy removal and refitting. What I wanted to do in this video is compare the performance of this foam cannon with the muck-off unit that I've been using for the last 4 years. And the best way of doing it was to mix it all up in the MJJC bottle and then dispense half of it into another container for use in the muck-off spray lance. That's the fairest way of doing it, to make sure they've both got exactly the same mixture or solution for use in order to compare the performance. So I used the Autobrite Direct Magifoam and mixed it roughly in accordance with their instructions. I put about 2 inches of the product in the bottom and then just topped it up with tap water. Now, I do like the wide mouth on this mixing bottle. It does make dispensing chemicals etc. into it really easy. And it is especially useful when it comes to cleaning it out in order to use other chemicals in it, because the wider mouth makes it easier to rinse it and get rid of any residues from previous chemicals that you've used, which is important, as you'll see later on. I then gave it a good shake and made sure that it was mixed up thoroughly, and then dispensed roughly half of the mixture into another bottle for use with the muck-off spray lance. And this has always been an issue with the muck-off type bottles. You know, they're so narrow at the top, it's really difficult to accurately pour anything into it from another bottle without, you know, spilling some. It really slows the job down, which is why the wider mouth on this MJJC bottle is, you know, it's just so refreshing really. Right, so that bit's done. Both are containing exactly the same mix, so there's no jiggery-pokery going on that would offset the results. And it's time to get on and actually see what the difference is between the two. In accordance with Autobrite Direct's Magifoam instructions, I rinsed the car over first to wet it, and then using the muck-off snow foam, just dispensing a bit onto the gravel first to make sure that there was no residue from any previous use, I treated the front end of the car. And I should point out that I do have this set up for a sort of maximum foam, as I've always done right from the first day that I used it. As you can see, you get good foaming action. It's pretty much as it's always been when I've used this snow foam lance, but it's quite thin and it does start to run off quite quickly. So let's try the MJJC version and see what the difference is. And I've got to say, the difference is huge. As you can see, the same snow foam from the muck-off lance is dribbling away quite quickly. It also, right from the start, wasn't as thick as the one from the MJJC unit. Now, this new version 3 foam cannon, what comes out of it is like a really rich shaving foam, and it just sticks to the paintwork and seems to almost defy gravity. Now, this is really good because the whole point of snow foam is a long contact time with the vehicle for maximum exposure and cleaning effect, which, you know, it's exactly what it seems to be doing. In fact, by about the 2-minute mark, the snow foam applied with the muck-off lance, really there was very little of it left on. Which I've always found to be the case, but it's like I've said before, I had nothing to judge it by, I thought that was normal. Now, obviously the ceramic MJJC needs to be applied with a snow foamer, and I wanted to test this new snow foamer at Canon out to see, you know, how it coped with that job as well. So I went over the whole car with the new snow foamer to make sure that I'd got a uniform coverage all round, and then left it for a full 8 minutes before rinsing it off. Now, I should point out that this particular Canon has both nozzle adjustments, so you can either have a fan or a jet from it, not that I really understand why you would want a jet from it. And you can also sort of adjust the amount of chemical that it's dispensing, which is useful. Now, I didn't catch it all on camera, but I had a bit of a play around with it earlier on, and I reckon with this one, because you've got such a lot of adjustment with it, it will probably pay for itself over the course of a couple of years, because you can actually do a thorough job of the car, especially with the MJJC, or should I say MJJC, because you can actually get a lot further with a lot less product with, you know, a bit of practice. And a pleasant surprise was with that stiffer, longer lasting mix that it produces. It did to me seem to have removed a lot more of the sort of surface grime than it normally does when I'm using the muck-off lance. There was a very noticeable difference, so that additional contact time that it gives obviously pays dividends. Right, so I consider that to be a successful test. I will be using this version 3 of the MJJC foam cannon in the future. Now, as part of this test, if you remember, I tested the MJJC and the ceramic infused shampoo separately from Auto Bright Direct, but they suggested to me that they are also designed to be used in conjunction with each other. Now, I tested the ceramic infused shampoo back in December. It wasn't fully gone from the car until the middle of February, I think it was. I know it lasted about 8 weeks, or just under 8 weeks, which is a lot longer than they rate it for. But what I thought was, if we clean the car with the ceramic infused shampoo first, which in itself gives fantastic long-lasting results, and then finish off with a coat of the ceramic MJJC. Now, at the end of the day, this shampoo is used just like any other automotive bodywork shampoo, so it's no great shakes to use it instead of something else. Still have to wash your car before you can coat it, so you may as well wash it with something that's going to enhance the final results. And the difference between this and other products, you know, normal car shampoos in cost isn't that great, so, you know, it's not going to put you out of pocket either. As I say, this is a ceramic infused car shampoo. It gives short-term benefits of ceramic coating. It just doesn't last as long as a full ceramic coat. It's not a particularly lathery mix, but when you're actually using it, it's got really high lubricating qualities, so, you know, it just glides over the paintwork. It cleans really effectively and quickly. All I will say is just don't allow it to dry out before you rinse it off, and if it's a particularly hot or windy day and it does dry out, just re-wet it with your shampoo solution before rinsing it off. And once you've rinsed it off, leave the car wet, don't dry it. Now, I cleaned out the receptacle on the MJJC Canon and then replaced the mixture with the MJJC mixture, which is a concentrate that you mix with water. I've shown you how to do it in that previous video. I'll see if I can leave some links on the information button up at the top there. Top right hand corner of the picture that you're viewing now. Now this comes out a little bit like snow foam, really, a bit like it comes out of the actual muck-off spray cannon. But this is a ceramic coating sealant, And I still haven't quite got the hang of the settings on the actual gun itself. I don't normally have as much of this chemical coming out as I did. In fact, I mixed up enough for 2 cars because my partner was also washing her car at the same time, as she does when she sees me get all the gear out. And the canister is still best part of half full. So like I say, this particular foam cannon, once you've got the hang of the settings on it, I think it's going to save you a lot of money in product. Now, this is a really simple process. Just coat the whole of the car in ceramic MJJC and then just rinse it off. And they call it MJJC for a reason, because every time you use it, it's just like magic. It's extremely hydrophobic and it leaves a resilient coating on the car that continues to bead up water and protect your paintwork for months afterward. What I'm hoping is that in using that ceramic infused shampoo first, I've built up a higher grade of defence than just using either of these products singularly on their own. Now, where I park my car is on the local bombing run for all the local beds. It's constantly covered in bed muck, which has in the past caused damage that I've had to rectify. One thing I can say about this ceramic MJJC and the ceramic infused shampoo, they do give a decent level of protection against lime or acid caused by bed droppings. Despite it being subject to several blitzkriegs a week, it's not accumulated any further damage, which I'm quite impressed by this stuff. Now, this coating is very hydrophobic, which makes drying the vehicle off afterwards quite easy. I usually just use an air blower to get rid of the worst of it and then go around it with a drying towel to buff it up. And you know, this car's getting on for 5 years old, but it comes up like new every time. And because I've been testing these chemicals for best part of a year now, it's only actually been washed 3 times in the last year. And I would say for general weekly or monthly maintenance, you know, that most people carry out on the cars, use the ceramic infused shampoo to wash the car, and you know, it should keep it going for months and months and months. Because I'm testing this process with both chemicals, however, I won't be washing this car now until I'm satisfied that both coatings have completely gone. So keep your eyes peeled for that video somewhere in the region of 4 to 6 months from now. I will of course be leaving links in the video description down below for all the sort of equipment and chemicals that I've used in this video. You may go and look at them for reference only, but don't you dare buy any of them. If I start getting complaints that somewhere's sold out, I'll be very cross. Once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this and my other videos, and in doing so helping to support this channel. I really do appreciate it. You can also support me in other ways by leaving a like for this video and becoming a subscriber if you're not already subscribed. Or you can help in other ways via my Patreon page or via the super thanks button down below. Either way, it's much appreciated. I will of course be back on Friday, so until then, please ride safely and I'll see you soon.